if we teach people that they need to farm their soil and not the plant, get over the growing of the plant and focus on the soil, we're on to such a winner.
What is that? Take care of your soil, the soil will take care of everything else.
100%.
What are your thoughts on people using the black soil? Because that tends to be one that people talk about using or asking where they can get it. And the soil obviously comes from kind of floodplain areas and flats and stuff like that.
So I do have a big bugbear about black soil. And it's a trend in Zambia where everyone thinks that black soil will magically fix all your problems. It's only us humans that love to see nice green, nitrogen-rich soil, but too much nitrogen damages other things. But black soil basically then it's a clay. So you top dress your lawn with it, and all you're doing is effectively cementing the top of your lawn. So nothing underneath the soil can breathe. The water can't get down to the plant's roots. So for year one, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to look lovely and green. Year two, you're going to get 101 different weeds come in that don't belong in your area, they belong in a wetland. And then you're going to end up with hard lumps of clay all over your garden. And you're going to hurt yourself when you're mowing the lawn, because they really
It'll shoot out like a little missile.
They're like rocks. And you're going to end up with a bigger problem the following year. So don't mess with the soil in your area. Add organic matter, use the leaves, use biochar. Biochar is just incredible stuff. So all of this compost will be mixed with a 15% ratio of biochar. Biochar holds water, it releases nutrients, holds onto nutrients and slow releases them back, adds carbon. We need it. So there's so many simple things that you can do that are not going to cost you any money at all. But it seems like it's coming back to that whole scenario as well of, if there's a problem, use compost. It is. It is always back to that. Because essentially moving soil from one area to the other, like you say, does the environmental damage. And effectively is never going to fix whatever problem that you are hoping to fix down the line. Exactly. But black soil is doing such damage to our country. I mean, it is insane how much all the wetlands, all the areas that are our catchments are just getting denuded because people are basically have been conned that black soil is the super rich soil that's going to fix all your problems. It is not. It needs to stay where it is, and you fix your own. I think people think that they're shortcutting, but in actual fact they're not. They're making a bigger problem. It's so much simpler to do this and to teach someone to do this and just crack on. And we all have millions of leaves at the moment. We have millions, and everyone loves to rake up their leaves. If you don't want to see the leaves, rake them up, put them in a pile, chop them up, and then top dress the lawn. It's for free.
Well, it also begs the question of how much should people be watering the lawn at the time of year when...
So we don't. So our lawn near the house is looking awful.
Well, but it's looking natural, I would say. It's gone brown, but hey, without water, that's what happens.
We were watering when there wasn't a power issue. But the power issue, I have so much more to water that's more important than my lawn. My lawn is fine. It's got leaves on it. It's looking a bit, but it's okay. The lawn on the other section where we were going to build a cottage, which we planted the lawn before anything else, we've never touched the leaves. There's a bed of leaves like this, and the lawn is surviving quite well under it, and it has not been watered once. So the leaves do the magic.
They do, but also, nature figures out the way. We don't water our lawn, and the minute the rains come,
it's going to come up.
It comes
and
back.
if you have to, then water in one section for 1 hour or 2 if you can. And
later in the afternoon, ideally, as well. After the heat of the day.
And that's another myth. Plants don't drink at night. So, this business of watering at night, you're just actually making a lot of work for yourself when you should be legs up watching telly. But the plants don't drink that water. So really early morning and really late afternoon is ideal.
Well, just avoiding the heat of the day is usually the best section. But no, I'm not a lawn person for the most part. It's brown during the dry season. The rainy season comes and it comes back nicely. You know, that to me is the main thing. I'd much rather see, you know, natural bush than anything else.
I love my lawn in the rainy season.
Yeah.
Well,
I always figured if we were meant to have green lawns all year round, then we'd have rain all year round. And we don't have the one, so we probably shouldn't have the other either.
But everyone's going to always want a lawn, so
yeah, but then we're going to have to come to that rationale of one day saying, okay, well, do we put water on the lawn or do we put water on something else?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
or make your lawn smaller. Make your lawn smaller and your bush area bigger and your garden area bigger. You know, people have a hang up about snakes and blah blah blah. We live in Africa; they're there, and they generally don't bother us unless we.
Well, you have to worry
them.
more about humans than you have to worry about snakes for the most part.
So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and also keep cover on shady trees and things like that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, if we planned well, we wouldn't need AC and all that kind of stuff. We'd have natural ways of cooling and natural ways of enjoying.
But it's a sad fact, you see a plot of land like that sold and within hours every tree's gone. And it's unnecessary. Yeah.
Compost is the answer.
Compost is the answer, yeah. And we just do things differently here. Whether it is right or wrong, it's working for us. You know, it's working for us, and I have loads more to learn about it. I'm not an expert by any, you know.
Well, but I think, you know, a lot of the times if you read literature and they say do this, do this, do this, that will work under the circumstances that they had. I don't know how much has ever been done for that kind of work here in South Central Africa, in Zambia in particular, which will be different here in Lusaka than it would down in Choma in Southern Province, and different up in Mbala or in Porokoso. Like, all of our conditions are so different depending on how much rainfall we get, what our maximum minimum temperatures are, you know, what tree arrangements and species distributions we have. So,
but we also have some amazing farmers, regenerative farmers in Zambia now. You know, in everywhere. They're in Choma, they're in Mazabuka, they're in Mukushi.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what is happening.
It's out of necessity nowadays. You know, we can't just rely on, okay, we'll just follow the old way of doing it. That's not been working.
It's because we were brought up in somebody else's paradigm and we stopped thinking for ourselves, you know. So as soon as you start questioning things, you know, why is this like that, and look around, you soon figure it out, you know. But it just takes 5 minutes to stop and look.
But also the profit margins and everything have become much more razor thin, effectively. So this is also an economic decision of saying, well, if we don't do this, you know, what is our profit going to be?
Exactly.
If we're reaching for the spray bottle each time, well.
And the chemical companies won't love me, but they love the fact that what I give you this year looks fantastic, but next year I'm going to need double. So, and the great thing is that a lot of them are now starting the biochar story. They're using chicken manure, which is another thing. Chicken manure, everyone thinks it's incredible stuff. It is, but you can only use it at 30% ratio. Otherwise, you're once again making your problem a bigger problem.
Yeah, it burns everything, it kills off.
Nitrogen levels are way too high. So it's about balance. Balance. And just stop and look and ask the question why.
And different systems that then also feed into each other as well. You know, compost is one aspect of it. It's not the only thing ultimately. It's a good one, but we still need to look at other systems to come into play effectively.
Yeah, and we have deficiencies in our soil here, and you'll have deficiencies in yours. We use weeds to try and take care of those. You know, by adding certain weeds to our compost, we then are making it richer in that. And
black soil is not the answer, though.
Black soil, it's just about balance. You know, if you've got a balance going on, good things and bad things. So we do get aphids, we do get problems, but we don't go hardcore on them. You know, just like we use Coca-Cola for termites, aphids we use methylated spirits and water, and that's it. And it's a spritz. And if we can't deal with them, we try and use our hands. And last case is a product called Niconeem. That's which takes us on to the whole nicotine thing, you know, the whole tobacco dust drama. What people don't realize when they're putting tobacco dust on their lawn, they're actually using an insecticide. So if they do a trial before they start and they do one patch of the lawn, and a day or two later they go back, they will see dead worms, dead butterflies, dead moths on the top of their lawn. So you're now putting insecticide everywhere and you're killing
Yeah, it's indiscriminate.
everything. Yeah. And actually those, the worms are there, they're God's farmers, they're there to assist us. So Niconeem, which has nicotine, is a great, it's neem oil and nicotine.
Yeah.
It's a great product. And it's
Last options though.
organic. It falls under the whole okay.
Yeah, it's not an organophosphate or something like that,
No.
which is completely chemical in nature.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's using sparingly. And
But I
whatnot,
think
too.
I've probably used it once in the last year. So
Well, and
it's
if
about
you
balance.
if you can find that balance, then even if you do have the aphids, there's going to be the predators,
Yeah.
the
Your ladybirds
wasps that
and
will
your
come,
wasps.
that
Yeah.
will come and parasitize them and eat them and things like that. So it is about part of it is also then about monitoring.
Yeah.
Knowing
it
that
is.
they're there is the first step, at least, to knowing
And if you
how
see
you're going
them
to
and
control
there's a
them.
tiny little patch, just get rid of them. But aphids especially, and on fruit trees. So we go back to, it's got a symbiotic relationship with the ant.
Yeah.
So if you see ants, you're generally going to see aphids.
Yeah.
And those little black ants, they clean up all the aphid poop, so it makes more space for the aphid. The aphid breeds and breeds and breeds, but the ant's being fed.
Yeah.
So if you get rid of...
He's farming it.
He's farming the aphid, yeah. So if you get rid of the ant problem, which Coca-Cola, then you get rid of your aphid problem, So it's just about balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.